The big finale. Here are the 10 best albums that have ever graced my ears. In 10th place, we have The Hands That Thieve by Streetlight Manifesto. Where do you even start with this just absolute, I hate to use the word again, but it's the start of the video, so masterpiece. It's so good. It's incredibly consistent, it's incredibly fun, it's so energetic. Honestly, it's cinematic. Streetlight Manifesto with this album kind of dropped their DIY style and replaced it with this just insanely confident, ridiculously just well put together style, and it works perfectly. Their old style is also brilliant, but this works perfectly, and every song slaps, every song is a banger, and all but one are like actually incredible, like top tier, you know. And to be fair, top tier Streetlight Manifesto is a wide range because most of their stuff is utterly incredible, but like this is beautiful album, beautiful, amazingly well made, great ska album if you're looking for something that kind of also feels like a movie soundtrack, because it does. And also while I don't exactly agree with the message, I think it's really interesting, I think it's really cool, and it doesn't diminish the quality of the album in any way. In fact, if anything, it almost makes it more good, because I like having my beliefs challenged, and I like listening to banging music doing that. I think that makes it more fun. So yeah, great album, love it. But in 9th place, we've got Streetlight Manifesto's second album, Somewhere in the Between. This was an impossible choice, but what really does it for me is that The Hands That Thieve has 9 absolutely incredible songs that are just stellar in every way, and one song that's just really, really good. This album just has incredible songs in every way. They're just all perfect, and it's back to the DIY style from Everything Goes Numb, but at the end of the day, that's what they like doing. They're really good at the other style, but this is just, it's fun, it's like a fanfare soundtrack to achieving your life goals. It's just magical, really. It really is. It's just this perfect, fun Streetlight Manifesto thing, and really you should listen to both Somewhere in the Between and The Hands That Thieve, but I would go for this one, personally, as a starter for their whole thing. They are both class, though, to be fair. They are both absolutely class. Streetlight Manifesto are just a really great band, so it is a shame that they split up, but yeah. Somewhere in the Between, 9th place, fully deserved. And in 8th place, we have an album that I discovered earlier this year, and was pretty blown away with it, as you can probably tell since it's top 10, A Beginner's Guide to Faking Your Own Death by Jhariah. Whew, this is a good one. It's a beautiful exploration of mental health issues, done pretty much cinematically. I can't describe this genre, it's kind of like jazzy rock, but it's not that at all. You're just gonna have to listen to it in the background and decide for yourself. But it's really good though. It's really good, and the lyrics are utterly class. Every song slaps. To be fair, the live version of Whose Eye Is It Anyway isn't as good as the studio version, but you can just find that. You can just find that and replace it, it's fine. And yeah, the rest of the album is just incredible. Even the live version of Whose Eye Is It Anyway is still brilliant, it just doesn't live up to the rest. But the rest are like, Pressure Bomb 3 is my favourite lyrical song, full stop, just end of story. So yeah, great album, really, really, really worth the listen. That's why it's in this video. Next album. Yeah, okay, we're ignoring the script for this one. This is, to be fair, I finished this ranking a couple months ago, because the thing is, I finished the ranking and then everything, I'm gonna sit up, everything just kind of went wild in my life, and I've only been able to record these now over the past, few weeks. But this might have moved up if if I'd done this ranking later. However, I'm going to keep it here, because I think this is the right place. This is going to be a long section, because I love this album, and I listen to it a lot. So, The Normal Album by Will Wood is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. It's just, this is what any album should be, really. This is what an album should strive to be. It's got where do I even start with this thing? Every song is incredible, as should be expected at this point. You know, there isn't a bad song. There isn't even a mediocre song. They are all utterly stellar, because that's how it goes. The album is wonderful. Wonderful piano rock. It's just piano rock at its best, really. It's the best you can get piano rock, but it's not even all piano rock. It's got doo-wop, it's got like some kind of punk stuff in there, and that's just in the first song. It's got little poppy elements. It's got like random references to like 80s pop in Love Me Normally. It's got just a piano song in like Well Then The Alternative, which is that's, you know, debatable, and Memento Mori, and it's just covered with things. It's just covered with really good things, and I love this album with all my heart. And yeah, even honestly, this isn't my favorite album from the ranking, obviously, because there are, you know, 6 more that I think are better. But personally, emotionally, to me, I think this is the most important one, and if there is one album from this entire ranking that I would say you should listen to, it's this album's Totally About You by Ben Visini, but this comes second. And in 6th place is Psy's most recent album, Quiet as Rain. I'm so low down in the camera, oh my goodness. Yeah, no, there isn't even that much to say about this one. It's an incredible Psy album. It's got some amazing artcore. It's very varied in style. We've got the classic Sister song. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but Sister? Whatever. It's good. It's a great album. It's got a metal cover of Freedom Dive in. That's all you really need to know. And it's in 6th place. It's utterly brilliant, and it is worth the money that you should get it on their website, because the Bandcamp release misses out 2 of the best songs. So get it on the website, I think. And taking 5th place is it's just an incredible J-pop album, The Book 2 by Yoasobi. I don't even have much to say about this. I really don't. It's 7 songs, and they're all just better than everything in the book, other than Into the Night and Tracing a Dream. That's what it is. It's brilliant, brilliant Yoasobi. And if you haven't listened to it, do it. Seriously, it's so good. It's emotionally powerful, mainly through the music, honestly. The lyrics, I don't even know the lyrics, and it's still 5th. Yeah, it just slaps. I've run out of words. And in 4th place, we have another album that I didn't really have high expectations for, and it blew me away, completely. Evolved Chronicles by Psy. I mean, I don't really know why I didn't have high expectations for a Psy album. It's a Psy album, but there we are. Oh, this one's so good. It's only 7 songs. It barely qualifies as an album. That being said, 2 of those songs are incredible. 2 of them are absolute masterpieces, and 3 of them, specifically the last 3, are genuinely some of the best music I've ever heard in my entire life. White Peak, which is, you know, my favourite song from this album, can only be beaten as a Psy song by Freedom Dive, my 3rd favourite song of all time. Did that make any sense? I hope that made sense. My wording is not great right now, but I'm determined to finish this recording session tonight, so that's what's happening here. Yeah, it's beautiful artcore. It's beautiful artcore. It easily ranks at 4th. It's not even a question. This is so much more than worth the 1,000 yen it costs. Please get it. World Fragments by Psy. It's 3rd. It's incredible. It is so worthy of that spot. When I first listened to this album, I didn't have words. It was just literally top, you know, one of the best songs I've ever heard, followed by one of the best songs I've ever heard, followed by just repeatedly. It's oral ambrosia, I think, is the best way I can describe it, and I think if any album can be said it's just a musical masterpiece, then it's either this or one of the others in the top 3. Top 2. The album barely missing out on the number 1 spot. I can't fault this one. I really can't fault this. The other one wins on a technicality, to be honest with you. It really does. Like, not really, to be fair. The other one I do prefer, but this one is genuinely a 10 out of 10 album. It's one of the only 2 albums I give that to. and it's 3 Cheers for Disappointment by the Arrogant Sons of Bitches. I know that's a wacky name for a band and all, but genuinely, this is the most consistently fun. I've got a list down here, and I'm just gonna read it out. Most consistent, fun, interesting, well-flowing, well-written, emotionally powerful, energetic album I've ever listened to, and I will stand by that. It flows perfectly between every song. It's all perfectly lined up. The first 3 songs just feel like one big song. To be honest, the whole thing does. The lyrics are incredibly apt for all of the situations, a very large number of which I have been in to quite a large degree. It is, it's so fun. It is the perfect way to just get absorbed in this brain, you know, it just occupies your whole brain. You don't get bored while listening to this album, even if you have, like, concentration issues. You just, it takes up your whole brain. It can stop you from constantly thinking, which is a thing that I do a lot, and sometimes I just want to let something think for me, and this does it in the most fun, engaging, just like, it's not Death Grips, where it just overwhelms your brain. It's the Arrogant Sons of Bitches, where they take you along for a roller coaster ride, and it is so fun, so energetic. It really is. It's a 10 out of 10 album, and to top it all off, the last song is one of my favorite lyrical songs of all time, and the whole thing is ridiculously consistent. There's actually 4 songs from this that I wouldn't literally call just some of the best music ever, full stop, and they're still really, really good. So what's gonna top that, huh? Yeah, I just described an album as basically perfect, and now I have to top that. This album would normally, if you were just factoring in the music, you would put it, well, not you, I would put it in 3rd place, just below World Fragments, because while the music is obviously ridiculously good, like ridiculously, it is still, you know, it doesn't live up to the 2 before it. But it is a story. The theming in this album is unrivaled by anything I've ever listened to. It is perfectly on point, and it makes you feel, even though there are basically no words in this entire album, and yet it feels like you're on a story following a cast of characters through some amazing journey. And you have all the same emotions you would have while reading one of the best books you've ever read. And I know some people here probably don't read, but trust me, like, this is the best that would get to some, for me, top 3 quality music. Heart of Android by Camellia. I've already basically given my description for this album at this point, but it is just wonderful. You feel like you've listened to an audiobook, except the audiobook was the best audiobook that you could possibly imagine anything being, and it was, like, also ear ambrosia from the music. I can't describe how I listened to this like a year and a half ago on a big binge of Camellia's music where I listened to most of the albums, and I was so tired of Camellia by the end of that I didn't really appreciate this as much as I should have. And then I came back to it, and it was perfect. I mean, you can analyze this. Camellia's posted like a whole thing on his blog, basically explaining the kind of plot of all of these songs and how it fits into the story. And yeah, you could analyze it like a piece of literature. And the only song that doesn't fit is Together Forever, My Lovely, Lovely Video Game Cartridges. And that's just a song that Camellia made while thinking about Pokemon. And that would bring the album down a bit if it wasn't for the fact that that's my 2nd favorite piece of music ever written. It's so good. This album is just, nothing compares to it, really. Nothing I've ever listened to anyway. And that is why Heart of Android is my #1 album of all time. Bonus video? There's a bonus video. I've technically already done one, but like, I mean like, bonus. It'll be at the end on the title card. It's basically just gonna be me after, you know, recorded after all of this, after the day before actually this episode comes out, and I'll just be talking about albums that I would have added to the ranking if it wasn't made 4 months before these finished coming out, or was it 4 months? 3 months, whatever. Anyway, and just other stuff related to the ranking. It'll be pretty fun. You can stop by if you want. See you. Go watch the cool video. Bye.